In the Indian state of Karnataka, a quiet conservation revolution is underway, which will help resolve conflict between humans and wildlife. Giddappa Shetty is returning to his village deep in the heart of the Bhadra Tiger Reserve. Every time his family requires something from the market, he has to walk nearly 24 kilometers to the closest roadhead and back. His path is perilous, for the forest is home to many dangerous animals. Shetty is no longer a young man with fast legs. Should his path cross that of an elephant's, the consequences could well be tragic. This is the dry season, and the stream just before Shetty's village is shallow. During the monsoon months, when it is swollen, even the old and the sick have to use the treacherous bamboo bridge. In a small settlement in another part of the forest live Gangappa and Lakshmanamma, an aging couple. Their landholding is an illegal encroachment in the sanctuary, and their claim on it is tenuous.
ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ಲ, ಎರಡು ಕಣ್ಣು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ದು, ನನಗೆ ಕಿವಿ ಕೇಳಿಸಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಇವಾಗ ಮಿಷನ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ
There is no doctor nearby, no telephone to summon one, nor transport to get to the nearest hospital in an emergency. Old and infirm, they have no idea what will happen to them. Kuniya used to live in the heart of the Nagarhode National Park. One day, he and two of his companions went to collect honey from a tree in the forest. On the way, they encountered a sloth bear with the same idea. Taken by surprise, the bear attacked. Kuniya's companions managed to escape, but he was not so lucky. Severely mauled, he is fortunate to be alive. Before it ran away, the bear inflicted severe injuries all over Kuniya's body. He also lost one eye in the encounter. Kuniya does not stay in the forest anymore, but there are thousands of others like Shetty and the old couple who still live marooned inside India's national parks and sanctuaries. They eke out a meager living, growing crops or raising livestock, and live in constant fear of animal depredation. To the stressed-out city dweller, this scene inside the Bhadra Tiger Reserve might appear to be paradise itself. After all, what can be better than to grow your own food in a peaceful forest setting? The owner of a neighboring field of paddy, Revanna Shetty, had a different story to tell when D.V. Girish from the NGO Wildlife First visited him. Night after night, as he watched helplessly from a small platform in a tree, a family of wild elephants helped themselves to his mature crop. What they did not eat, they trampled to the ground. He will be lucky if he can get even 50% of the crop for his family. For the elephants and other herbivores, the standing crop in the heart of the forest is an irresistible temptation.
ಈಗ ಗದ್ದೆ ನೆಟ್ಟಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ಆನೆ. ರಾತ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಲ ವರ್ಷ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ಆನೆ. ಭಾಳ ತಿನ್ನುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಯಬೇಕು, ಕಾದು ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಆನೆ ಒಂದೇ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಂದಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾಡ್ಕೋಣ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
We asked him why he sounded so hoarse.
ಮುಂಚೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಸರ್ ದನಿ. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ವಾರ ಆಯಿತು ಆನೆ ಗುಡ್ಲು ಕಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಡ್ದು ಬಾಯಿ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಬೆರೆಸಿ ದನ ಗಂಟ್ಲಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟರು.
The people living within a protected wildlife area aren't the only ones who are affected by their situation. The forest and its wildlife suffer badly too. In summer, settlers set fire to the forest for a variety of reasons, causing long-term negative impacts on the ecosystem. With farmlands on the outside pressing upon the forest edges and settlements inside expanding, there is less and less room for wildlife. To make matters worse, most of the settlers keep goats and cattle which are let loose to graze in the forest. The domestic herds eat up all the palatable grass, leaving little for the wild herbivores. Occasionally, a settler's cow or prize bull grazing in the forest gets killed by a tiger. Since tigers return to feed on their kills, retribution is easy. Often, the carcass is laced with cheap, easily available pesticide, and the tiger dies a cruel death. Many settlers also poach in the surrounding forests. The simplest method is a wire noose discreetly set on a trail used by animals. It is silent and deadly and kills indiscriminately. This radio-collared leopard, part of a research program, was killed in this way. The constant war of attrition between people and wildlife is quite invisible to casual visitors from outside. What they see is an illusion of harmonious coexistence with nature. Luckily, there is a solution to this problem, and a quiet revolution is underway in some protected wildlife areas in Karnataka. This is Nagapura, on the outskirts of the Nagarhole National Park, where the government of Karnataka, with the assistance of Project Tiger, is implementing a voluntary resettlement scheme that shows great promise. A large area of fertile land has been readied for cultivation. Settlers within the park have been offered sizable plots here, and nearly 250 families have voluntarily relocated from their forest encampments. An elephant-proof trench keeps wild animals out, allowing the new homesteaders to finally start making an income from their holdings. As part of the arrangement, the government has also built a small house for each family. Modest though the houses are, they are more secure against the elements than the encampments in the forest. A common hand pump at the new settlement provides clean drinking water. Scientists from the nearby agricultural university visit the fields regularly and offer their advice on farming and marketing techniques. The yields have been good, and there is no crop loss from wild animals. In Bhadra too, a resettlement scheme has proved highly successful. A hard-working and sincere Deputy Conservator of Forests, Mr. Yatish Kumar, realized that long-term security for the forest and its wildlife could only be ensured by first solving the problems of the people. He spent months winning their trust and worked closely with other government departments to secure a good deal for the settlers. The key NGO in Bhadra that stood by the settlers through the long-drawn resettlement process was Wildlife First, represented by D.V. Girish. His personal rapport with virtually every family was crucial to the success of the program. This is the new settlement in MC Halli, well away from the forest, where several hundred acres of fertile, irrigated land has been set aside for families voluntarily resettling out of the Bhadra Tiger Reserve.
ನಮಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಂಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತೇಳಿದರೆ ನಾವು ತುಂಬ ಇಂಟೀರಿಯರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ನಮಗೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋಡಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ 15 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟ್ರ್ ನಡೆದು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ತುಂಬ ಶಾಲೆ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇತ್ತು. ವಿದ್ಯುತ್ ಶಕ್ತಿ, ಕರೆಂಟು, ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರು ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಭಾರಿ ದೂರಗಳು ಹೋಗಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ ನಾವು ಮೊದಲಾಗಿ ಫಸ್ಟು ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಮಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಸವಲತ್ತಿದೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲು, ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿ ಕನ್ವೀನಿಯನ್ಸು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಸರ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಜಮೀನಿದೆ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನೀರಾವರಿ ಜಮೀನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮಗೆ ನಿಜವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ 1.5 ಪಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಭದಾಯಕವಾಗಿ ಶ್ರಮ ಪಟ್ಟರೆ ಬೆಳೆದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇದಾಗ್ಬೋದು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಇದಿದೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯ ಸವಲತ್ತುಗಳು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷದಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೇವೆ.
The old, abandoned mud houses in the forest will soon crumble. In time, free from constant human pressure, the wildlife will multiply and the forest will regain its lost splendor. Both humans and wildlife can win in a conflict situation if sincere, well-planned steps are taken.